If you have been following my channel for quite some time now, you know that I often say how PC, especially PC males, have some of the worst, if not the worst, road rage in America and possibly the world. And this story that I'm bringing to you is no different. So this man's name that you see in the picture, of course you can see it on the screen, his name is Kevin Roth, and there was a surveillance video of this man chasing this woman with a gun in his hand due to a road rage incident. Now, I don't know all the details. I'm about to read it off to you, and we about to learn together what made him actually get out of his car and chase this woman trying to shoot her. And I believe it was a black woman that he tried to shoot. And the article I'm reading from is from ABC 13, and it was posted on June 21st, 2023. And this story is coming out of Humble, Texas. A honking exchange between two drivers escalated into a terrifying road rage ordeal for a Northeast Harris County woman. Surveillance video showed a man following her into a convenience store and pointing a gun at her multiple times. The man has been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The woman, who spoke only to ABC 13 and asked to have her identity concealed, said the suspect was behind her at a red light Tuesday morning. She claimed he honked at her when the light turned green. She honked back and said that's when he brandished his gun, followed her, and then rear-ended her. That's when I just took off, speeding to a gas station to a public area because I had already seen that gun in the car. So I didn't want to just pull over like a regular car accident, the victim said. Surveillance video from that Phillips 66 gas station on Atascocita, I probably mispronounced that name, in Wilson and Humble shows the terrifying moments after a man followed her into the convenience store. He can be seen pointing the gun at her several times as she tries to run away from him. When she tried to leave, the woman said he stopped her and tried to take the keys out of her car. He then hit the back of her car again. The victim believes he did it to block her in the parking lot. She said the suspect shouted racial slurs at her, causing her to fear for her life. I honestly didn't think he would pull a gun out in public and chase me. He was like, get on the ground right now. So he shouting signals out to her like he's a cop or something. Now, mind you, all of this is because of being at a red light and then it turning green, and because she didn't move fast enough, that's what started all of this. Again, I keep telling y'all, PC has some of the worst road rage. Like, if you look back through some of my videos when I'm talking about these topics, it's some worse ones out here than this one, because some actually ended with casualties, such as that young lady a few years ago, back in I think 2018, who was about to go to college, and this one PC man had this extreme road rage. She was going to shop for her college dorm room, and he ended up pulling a gun out and shot right through her window, hitting her, and then she ended up crashing into an embankment and she died. Thankfully, the guy is in jail right now. I believe he got a life sentence, which of course was the proper sentencing. Of course, had it been me, it would have been the death penalty. But it is what it is. Y'all can go and look that story up for yourself. He could have shot me. He was aiming a gun. I could tell he was kind of scared himself. He was shaking his hand. That's why I was scared. I'm scared because you're scared. He could have done anything to me just out of fear, she said. Deputies with the Harris County's Sheriff's Office responded about 10 minutes later and said that they took the gun away from the man identified as 30-year-old Kevin Roth. He was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. My heart was just racing when the police got there. I was just like in tears, the victim said. ABC learned Roth bonded out of jail Wednesday afternoon, which was set at $25,000. HCSO said he has not had any prior offenses other than minor traffic violations. How ironic, the other minor traffic violations, considering it lines right up with another road rage thing. This guy just seems to me like he doesn't need to be driving. He needs to have his license revoked. Because look at where it escalated to the point where he took out a gun and pointed it at this woman. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the picture up when I'm done reading the article, so you can see what you see an image from the surveillance camera of him actually with the gun in his hand. The victim's mother says she's thankful her daughter's alive, but feels extremely disturbed about how this unfolded. It was sickening. This could have ended a lot worse. I'm thankful to God that everything didn't escalate as far as it could have gone. That's just not okay. Guns don't belong in some people's hands in their possessions, the mother said. The mother shared that the focus for their family right now is to help her daughter gain a sense of safety and security again. Well, I know she can gain safety and security. Get that power tool. That's all the safety and security she's gonna need. They expressed that they are worried about possible retaliation because the suspect has their home address. How did he get the home address? Oh, that's even more reason now that she needs to get that power tool and keep it with her at all times. What makes matters even worse is this man lives about 2 miles away from us. So how do we feel protected when he lives that close? Now that's even more scary. Yeah, she's definitely going to need a different type of security. I already gave the suggestion. Now, whether they heed the suggestion or not is completely and solely on them, on her rather than anything. The mother too. ABC 13 asked HCSO about this concern. A spokesperson said state law mandates that all parties involved in a car crash must exchange personal contact information. And that's how he got the home address. Wow. Because it said he rear-ended her. So that constitutes as a car accident. Yeah, and the fact that he bonded out of jail, which means he could just come over there at any time, because it didn't show anywhere in the article that there's some kind of restraining order that she could put down there to keep him away, which means he could come over at any time. Yeah, so I hope that she definitely has her security in place. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the picture, the surveillance footage. Okay, so here's one right here, because there's actually a couple of them. You have one right here where, as you can see, it looks like he has a mask on, and he looks like he's holding maybe a phone up to his ear. And of course, we can see what that clearly is right there. That is the gun that he was using in the end. Here's another one right here. His back is turned. He's still in the parking lot. But now here's the other one where he's inside the store itself. As you can see, he's still holding a phone right here. And you can see it's kind of grainy, but that's the firearm in his hand. So he has the phone in the left hand and the firearm in the right hand. And to think, all of this started just because he was being an aggressive driver and was trying to get her to really drive off as fast as she could, quickly as she could, as soon as that light turned green. From a honk, and that's where it landed with this, all because she honked back. Again, he honked at her when the light turned green. And because she did responded back, it led to this. Someone please point me in the direction of where I'm wrong when I say that PC male has some of the worst road rage in the world. Because every time I have done a story with PC having this road rage, every time I do a story with road rage, it tends to always be them. I think the last road rage story I did was in the form of a triple P. If y'all remember, it was a couple weeks ago, where this guy was, I think it was in California, if I'm not mistaken, was driving around on the highway, cussing these black women out, calling them racial slurs, and his goofy self literally went into the side of the wall. I think he was charged with some, I think like with a hate crime and some other disturbances charges, whatever, as well. And again, still stands. PC male having some of the worst road rage, and they tend to love to go after soft targets, and it usually is always a woman. And it tends to, sometimes in most cases, like in this story right here, and the one that I've just told you about, and even the one with the young lady who lost her life, were all black women. Because they know they ain't going to try that with a black man. They know better. So again, they're going to go after that soft target. So ladies, I'm going to highly suggest that you have that power tool on you at all times, because they're expecting that you're not going to be carrying. They're expecting that. A lot of them have that mindset, oh, she's a woman, what would she know? Don't let them have that thought, and don't let them catch you slipping. So to the woman that was the victim in this incident right here, because this guy lives about 2 miles away from you and because he has your address, you definitely need to be carrying at all times, especially since you don't know what he might actually try to do. The mother said she fears it might be some retaliation. That's actually an interesting feeling to have, considering he's at home and he's only 2 miles away from them. 2 miles is not a long drive.